Alright, look. So little kids should always run. Don't fight each other, but here go and play with guns. Go see the city, cause the countryside's a slum. And always help your people, but don't ever talk to bums. Somebody save me. It's like these streets are littered with them. These empty homes and homeless people need some sleep within them. But still you let them freeze because you're greedy, it'll kill them. You don't care, cause when you sell what you control, you see the villain. It's all money to you, ain't it? And it's all funny till you say it. I hope you know your people suffer and they praying. Hope you see that we won't put up with your ways, cause we the people, powerful and passionate in pain, and we don't like this. Irish people always know to fight. Irish people ain't no fucking strangers to our blight. And Irish people deal with it, so Irish people fail. But Irish people getting quiet when the shit is getting real, cause we don't talk enough, we really talk. Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just history of being forced to speak another's language, live another standards. I don't understand it. Gaps so big between the classes like they on another planet. But it's okay because your neighbor struggles too. So it's the norm that is changing cause of you. But if you look, you see your family's getting used by the corrupt who say your silence means that they agree with you. You think they mean it? Or are they still gon' steal? Empty homes and bigger pensions mean they still gon' steal. Collect the rent and pay the taxes, but they still gon' steal. For me, you and your people, yeah, they still gon' steal. You think they mean it? You think our pain that they can feel it? I think they out their minds, I think they blatantly deceiving. Can't wait to watch the phoenix fall and see the dog be more for us instead of focus on these people that within its walls. But when the votes are only coming from the old, politicians ain't gon' care about the youth, or so I'm told. And I ain't really seen them rising either. It's all this greed and all this preaching. Look at history, it's plain when we don't trust a preacher. So I just play sativa praying that the lights out. But still gon' drink because I'm praying for a fight now. Just wish that working hard could really change your life. But all that money that you made was on your rent and on your lights. Now ain't got no cash to have a life. And you ain't got no time or money. They be acting like it's funny to attack your rights. What's next, to make your water privatized? Increase your taxes so they take away your car because you have to drive to get to work, to pay for them, to pay their bills, to put the family through a life the most to kill for. And yeah, that's fine, that ain't the part that gives me chills. You see, what really fucks me up is they have that and still gon' steal. Or are they still gon' steal? Empty homes and bigger pensions mean they still gon' steal. Collect the rent and pay the taxes, but they still gon' steal. For me, you and your people, yeah, they still gon' steal. Look. Or are they still gon' steal? Empty homes and bigger pensions mean they still gon' steal. Collect the rent and pay the taxes, but they still gon' steal. For me, you and your people, yeah, they still gon' steal. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. A road war, can she fake it? Oh, nah, ain't got no time for agitation. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. A road war, can she fake it? Oh. Eyes that pierce the skin and see into your soul. And yeah, that cost you showing skin, but you can't see it all. She acting cool and always talking about this weed, and now she's always getting drunk and never getting any sleep. Cause she a party girl, she wants to be a star. Her only fans are blowing up, got money on her card. And she don't need no man to hold her down, just lease a car. But she don't even need it, her apartment ain't that far. So we've been dancing, drinking, laughing, swapping masks and eating face. The lights just came back on, it's about the time we leave this place. The taxi rank next door would do to take us both away back to your apartment, right?
Let's go, babe.
Yeah, cool. I like your place, it's in the couch, you bring the drinks. I must be faded, just a sip and now spinning. Wait, why she laughing as I start to fall asleep? Wait, why you laughing? I can't move, can't leave the seat. Now I got no time for agitation. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. A road war, can she fake it? Now I got no time for agitation. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. A road war, can she fake it?
Crazy easy trying to fool these dudes. I play their mind like they're just colors on a Rubik's Cube. Now get some sleep, cause when you wake you're gonna die. Don't look so sad though, you should smile.
My head is pounding, what the fuck I even take? Open my eyes, I'm in the seat, but now I'm chained. And what the fuck you doing, bitch? You best unchain me or I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. Hey, whoa, what's with the knife? Hey, please respond, oh please, don't wanna die. Like, why you doing this? I'm innocent, I beg you. Fucking beg you. So not a word, you just walk around me looking settled. So not a word as you walk around me till behind. And drag the blade across my throat and then I died. Like, what the fuck? Cause she ain't got no time for agitation. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. But oh boy, can she fake it? Oh, she ain't got no time for agitation. Party like a fucking celebration. See it in a rush, she insane like me. But oh boy, can she fake it? But oh boy, can she fake it? But oh boy, can she fake it?
two tracks from Saul Blake, Empty Homes and Celebrations, and we're delighted to have Saul on the phone with us in the sweltering heat in his car, going to do this interview, and I am actually boiling here myself at the minute. But you've been at the music quite a while. How did your influences, and how did your musical journey start?
Well, the way it started, my dad, when he was a lot younger, was in a band and played guitar and was always into music. There was always a lot of music in my house. We were always playing music, singing along, having the crack and stuff like that. So when I was about 14, I was talking about wanting to learn guitar, and he got me a guitar for Christmas and taught me my first song. It was the Seven Nations Army by White Stripes. It was the first song I ever learned on guitar. And from there, I kind of picked away a guitar and learned a little bit and started writing lyrics at about 16. And once I started writing lyrics, the guitar took a serious backseat. It really did, because lyrics they just suit me more. I got a lot more expression out of it, and I found I could put all of my emotion into this page and really connect with my music. So lyric writing once that happened, that was it. Just from then on, always writing.
And for the hip hop, what were your early influences with hip hop? How did you? Early
influences. The main reason I got into hip hop at first was, you obviously know Class A's.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first heard them, I was like, oh, these boys are class Irish rappers, because at the time, the only hip-hop I would have heard really was all gangster rap and like club tunes and Little John and all that kind of crack, and it just didn't speak to me. It wasn't, I just couldn't relate to it. Couldn't relate to it at all, so it never really spoke to me. Then I heard Class A's, and I could relate to loads of their songs, and I could relate to their whole way of thinking, because Irish boys, and they're all, we're not the same, but we can relate to each other. And once I heard them doing it, I was like, Jesus, I could give this a go, because I never really liked my singing voice at first, because I didn't know what vocal exercises were. And I was like, oh, I'll give a go at rapping, and started writing rap lyrics, and did that for about 6 months, and joined the group Red Eyed Rollers, who were called Rapscallions after a while. And yeah, just kind of fell in love with hip-hop then from there.
You ended up with Micah Blade.
Micah Blade.
Micah Blade. And how did you end up there, or were you doing?
They're a small Galway label. A mate of mine who was in the Red Eyed Rollers originally, but left the Red Eyed Rollers to chase his solo career, got signed with them and was like, "Oh, I got signed with this label, cool!" Showing us all the contract and stuff. And me being the opportunist that I am, immediately went, "I'm going to look these boys up, I'm going to send them some music, and I'm going to try sign with them." And they got back to me in Maryland, which was the Rapscallions at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to meet you." Went and chatted to Trav Nines. Absolute legend of a man. I ended up living with that dude for like 3-4 years in Gort. Absolute legend. We had a recording studio in the house and all. He got us countless gigs and did all our recording and loads of our mixing and mastering, all for free. To be fair to him, all of this was for free. So he really started us up. He got us into the gig scene and into actually having a bit of drive and where to kind of put the energy in music and all that. He taught us all that. If it wasn't for Micah Blaze and Trav, I don't know where I'd be, to be honest. He taught me a lot.
The scene in Galway now, how is it?
The scene in Galway now, as far as I know, is dead. Because there's nothing, like, since lockdown, there's been very little going on. But for me, I'm not really about the scene. I'm so focused on what I'm doing as an artist and what other kind of, like, there's a few smaller groups, right? Like Run Off Broke and Upbeat and all them. They're all doing their own thing, but that seems to be more what it is. It's more artists doing their own thing rather than like collectives and groups. You know what I mean? Or so I'm noticing anyway. I'm sure there's drill collectives that I wouldn't be paying attention to.
Yeah, it seems to be the drill thing. It seems to be separate. They're all on YouTube and have their own thing going on.
Some of them are huge as well. Some of them have massive followings.
Massive followings is right. You had a break for a while from the music for a while, and then you came back to it. What were you writing away during that time, or?
I was always writing. What happened? So we were in Gravity Verse Productions, which was a founded kind of production company that I started up, and my partner Amy, she did all the music videos for that. My brother did all the mixing and mastering of the songs, and yeah, we all worked together. I was working with Jordan Wilson, who's now Run Off Broke, and Gavin McKeough, and Francina Kine, and a few different artists. We all kind of came together and started working on projects, and that was great for a while. We were just kind of releasing videos and releasing songs. We didn't really put together any gigs, and it kind of fizzled out, to be honest. It's just the interest kind of got lost. People weren't putting in the work they were supposed to, and I was trying to get everybody together to put in the work. It just kind of got annoying. I was sick of chasing after people, so that kind of fizzled out, and I just kind of fell back and was like, I'm not gonna release for a while. I just stopped having interest in it, to be honest. Still writing, still always writing, because how I express myself really. But yeah, the releasing just kind of took a backseat, and I started training and getting into MMA and started doing that and looking into becoming a personal trainer. And yeah, just kind of worked away at that for about 4 years. And then, yeah, we got kicked out of our house. Myself and my partner were living in a house in Gorse in Burnview. And the house got sold from under us. And we were told we could stay on and that'd be fine. And then we got handed a 6-month lease. And they were like, that's how long you're getting. And we were like, shit, okay, fair enough.
Right.
So 6 months passed. We still couldn't find a place. We had 3 big dogs. We still couldn't find a house anywhere. So we ended up buying a mobile home and putting it up on her mother's land and living there off grid for just over a year. And that's when I started getting back into music. And kind of after that 4-year gap, I started writing, and really kind of, because we'd have the electricity off half the time, and I'd pick up the guitar and I'd write, and I really started connecting with music again. It wasn't so much just for a bit of expression or anything. It was, I know, it felt deeper. That whole experience really kind of shaped me as a person, I think. It changed me and it made me appreciate things more, maybe look at things differently. I wrote Socialites, actually, in that mobile.
Yeah.
And yeah, once I wrote that song, that was it. I was like, all right, here we go. Let's do this.
Would have that been the inspiration beside Empty Homes as well? Would have that the inspiration
Empty
behind
Homes
that?
was a little bit after. We had just moved into a shite house. Moved into an old famine house that had countless problems that we're out of now. Oh. But yeah, we moved in there, and Empty Homes came. I was walking around Galway at Christmas, going into the Christmas shopping, and in about 10 minutes, I saw 4 or 5 tents in the middle of the city. And out of 3 of those tents was families. I'm talking like small children and both parents still together sleeping in a tent in the middle of the city. And I'm just looking and passing countless empty houses all the time. Like I'd be going to work or anything, you'd be seeing empty houses on the side of the street and old bungalows that are like, would be perfectly like habitable. You could go live in it, no bother, but they're just sitting there and no one's doing anything about it. And then rent prices skyrocketing and all this kind of the cost of living in Ireland going mad, the living wage not changing, and I just got fed up with it, and I went home and I was just really pissed off that day. I was just really mad at the whole thing and just kind of wrote Empty Homes. Went with it. Just kind of happened.
Yeah, and you're releasing Council Estate Kid. What's the inspiration behind Council Estate Kid?
Yeah, Council Estate Kid is all about making your way, like crawling your way out of the bottom. Because I grew up in a couple of council estates growing up, and my parents still live in a council estate at the moment, but they're about to buy the house, so fair play to them.
Yeah.
Very happy with them. Very proud of them, to be honest. But yeah, it's just about not letting where you come from hold you back. Because like me growing up, like I live in council estate in Clarenbridge. It's a lovely village. Most people hear about Clarenbridge, they're like, oh, lovely place. I go, whereabouts do you live in Clarenbridge? Oh, I live in the council estate. And the conversation switches. Their face changes.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just kind of like I'm still the same person you were talking to 2 seconds ago. I don't know why I'm getting such a different reaction. But yeah, it's just about not letting those kind of things hold you back and making it anyways and trying your hardest and struggling through all the shit and getting there.
Yeah, it's well, I grew up in a council estate myself as well, like, you know, and no harm, and it's some of the best crack you can ever have is in a council estate.
Absolutely, man. Estate life is great crack, especially for a kid.
Yeah, there's loads of other kids around as well. But
exactly, yeah.
In the near future, will you have an album coming out, or?
Okay, so I had an album written. There was 12 songs, then it was 15 songs, then it was 6 songs, now it's 4 songs. Because it just keeps changing. I've been writing for so long and working on this album, and it's just because I've been putting so much work in. There's been a lot of development over the last year, like a lot. Like Council Estate Kid is a good example of the like sound change and stuff. I'm still trying to bring as honest, real lyrics, but I'm trying to make it much more palatable and more like easy to listen to and more enjoyable to listen to. So with all that changes and all that changing, I've just been swapping it out. So we're on 6 songs. We're not on 4 songs. We have 6 songs on the EP at the moment, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to make it longer. I was thinking of releasing an EP, but I'm probably going to make it an album. But either way, there's going to be bi-monthly releases for the rest of the year, guaranteed.
Oh, excellent. We look forward to that. So it'll be later on, and it'll be next year or that before or that. Is it a case that you're your own worst critic, kind of going, well, I'm going to change this. This isn't.
I think what it actually is just like when you work really hard at something, you get better at it, or you're supposed to at least. And I have been working crazy hard, so the songs keep getting better, and then the songs that I thought were good enough just don't hold up to the other ones. Like, they don't hold up to the more current ones. They get scrapped, and it just kind of keeps happening. The ones that are the 6 that are on it now are I'm very, very happy with them. So they're staying. But I'd like to make it longer to release an album. I don't really want to release an EP. I'd like to release a full album, maybe 10, 12 tracks. So we'll see. I'm always writing, so if I get to it and it's 10 tracks, then it could be this year.
Yeah, a lot of people
I'm not the type to hold on to it for too long. Like, once it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah, a lot of people are, they're just they'll release an EP. A lot of artists are releasing EPs. They won't, they won't go out for the full album.
Take the step to the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You see, the way I see it releasing an EP is if you're going to release only 6 tracks, you're probably better off releasing the 6 tracks as singles. And the way I want my album to be as well is every one of those tracks needs to be good enough to be a single. Otherwise, I just don't want to release it. If I don't think it's good enough to hold its own by itself as a track, there's no point putting it on the album. You know what I mean?
You're quite proactive as well. You were out busking around with the new track on Saturday last.
I played 5 unreleased tracks in 4 different locations in Galway City. We were way above the sound limit, way above it. It was quite fun. It was a good day. We started off in Salthill. We had 2 locations in Salthill. We started with 1 speaker because I tested out the speakers in the home estate and was like, okay, this is way too loud. We should probably just go with 1. We went with 1, and Salthill is a lot bigger and lots of breeze and it's a big beach and stuff. So we were like, all right, 1 is pretty loud, but we get away with 2. So we got the second one, went to the second location, blasted the place out of it. We actually had such a great day. It really was. There were some amazing people had the crack. We had people running over talking to us. By the end of the day, I had people wanting to take pictures with me and all. I felt like I was famous. Mad.
Right. So
it was actually mad.
Yeah, hip hop as a busking, you'd wonder how it'd go down, but it went down well anyway.
Yeah, it did go down very well. It was like, you see, the thing is with my album now is it's not hip hop. It's various genres. Like I have pop songs on it. I have pop songs on it. I have like kind of acoustic, rocky kind of sound to it. Like, it's definitely more of a fusion album or a fusion EP or whatever it's going to be. It's a fusion project, we'll say. Like various genres. I was making hip hop exclusively rap for so long, for the last 10 years, we'd say, until last year when my mate called me up and was like, hey, listen to the song I wrote. I was like, okay, and he played it and I was like, you can sing now, what the hell? He was like, bro, check out these videos on YouTube, vocal exercises. And I was like, alright, yeah, I'll give them a go. And by day 1 of doing vocal exercises, I was like, alright, this is a joke, everyone needs to know about these. If you're a rapper or a singer and you're not doing vocal exercises, start doing fucking vocal exercises. I cannot stress that enough. It made such a huge difference. I'm a confident singer, and I never thought I would be.
Yeah.
I'm actually alright at singing now.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming up to, well, I suppose the whole lockdown thing, in the near future, is there any gigs or anything that you have in?
There's nothing finalised or set in stone yet, but yeah, we got lots of plans. I see a lot of artists are setting up gigs in November and October and stuff, but I don't want to set up a gig and put loads of time and energy into marketing it and trying to push it and sell tickets if it's not guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, I know.
The last thing I want to do is spend half a year pushing it out and selling however many tickets I can and then being like, oh, sorry, lads, here's a refund. It's just, as soon as I know we can do it and it can 100% happen, we're going to do it. Like, even going out on the street, I was like, look, if I can't bring people to a gig, I'm going to bring my gig to people. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Rent proper PA system and just blast the place out. So, like, I might do that again soon. We'll see. I had a few people messaging me asking me to, so I might do.
Yeah, well, there's actually, I was seeing there during the week, well, it's up here in Mayo, but Mayo County Council are giving out a grant for organising outdoor gigs from August to September during those couple of months. So
yeah,
you never know.
The hottest months.
The hottest months. Well,
hey,
hopefully
look,
the hottest.
If it's going, man, let me know.
Yeah, I will do. Absolutely. Well, we're coming up to the 15 minutes, and these headphones are melting the head off of me now at the moment, and I'm sure you're stuck in the car.
In the car, not too bad.
Oh God, I had to pull the blinds and all that to do to keep the, just in case somebody drives past or something like that. But everything's sealed here, so I'm melting. But Saul, thanks very much, and we're going to play out there with Council Estate Kid anyways, and thanks very much for your time.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
All right, thanks a million for having me on.
And I don't wanna be cold. Go and be me, I don't wanna be you. I've been taking steps like a centipede. Not a single fucking one of you can fail these shows. Man, it gets frustrated, but I still get through. Broke boy with a big dream, big dream. Kinda wonder what the top going felt like. So we swinging from the sailing, sailing right. Yeah, take shots like they right in my sights. Don't care what you say, this is only my life. Used to be a bro, but I ain't gon' be like this anymore. Yeah. So if we gon' feel like everybody feels like, then we gon' feel like shit. Yeah. We can't pay the bills, but we gon' make a million. Yeah, I can fucking feel that shit. Yeah. We both ain't afraid to take risks. No excuses, let the critics say that. It's not to climb to the top of a council estate, kid, council estate, kid. I ain't gonna claim to be a saint. Everybody caught up in the same things. 40-40 with the kids in the estate. Turn to growing up and getting wasted. School was kinda basic. Mention out of class don't mean we ain't gonna make it. I ain't even listen when they say shit. Teachers always talk, but it ain't a conversation. And they said I'd never make it with the attitude. Put it in the song and sing it back at you, bitch. Another punk gon' be a rock star. Like skater boy dead, just like skater boy dead. So if we gon' feel like everybody feels like, then we gon' feel like shit. Yeah, we can't pay the bills, but we gon' make a million. Yeah, I can fucking feel that shit. Yeah, we both ain't afraid to take risks. No excuses, let the critics say that. It's such a climb to the top of a council estate, kid, council estate, kid. For a council estate, kid, council estate, kid.